You need to move. I need to do something. Hello and namaste beautiful yogis. How are you all? Today's practice is going to be for flexible hips, also for emotional release. It is said that we store a lot of emotions in our hips. On a psycho-spiritual level also, hips are the start of our sensuality, sensitivity, and individuality. This area is deeply involved in our connectivity to ourselves and to others, and this is also where we store a lot of unexpressed emotions. So without any further ado, let's begin. We're going to start with figure of four fold. So you're going to place your right ankle over the left knee. Left leg is slightly away from your body. Keep your palms away. And now slowly start pushing your upper body towards the knees and bring your knees closer to your shoulders as much possible. Stay here and breathe. Keep lifting the chest up. Keep opening. Excellent for your glutes and hips. The figure 4 stretches the outside of your hips as well as your butt. This stretch specifically targets the gluteus medius, which is the muscle that aids in hip movement and hip mobility and is responsible for stabilizing the hip joint. And gently release, coming out. Changing the sides. Bring the left foot on. I'm a little distracted because of Tia. Left foot on and stay here. Keep pushing the chest towards your shins, towards your calves. If you have a dog like I do, let them lick your feet. After performing this stretch, you may feel a little bit looser and experience a greater range of motion in the hip region. An increase in flexibility means a decreased chance of injury. So consistently incorporate this stretch in your daily routine so as to benefit in the longer run. And gently release. Next we'll do Baddha Konas. Bring the soles of your feet together. You don't need to be too close to your hip area. You can be slightly away. Be comfortable wherever you feel you're comfortable. Lengthen your spine. And as you exhale, start to bend forward. Keep pushing your knees down with your elbows. You can go as deep as is possible for you. As much feels good for you. The butterfly pose is a great option for the people who sit or stand for long hours, and it also can protect your hips from overuse injuries from walking, running or cycling. It targets your hips along with your groin region, inner thighs and knees. Loosening up these areas of the body and strengthening your back muscles can help to improve your posture. She's really asking for attention today. This pose also promotes a sense of calm and encourages inner awareness. This pose also might help against migraine. It may regulate hormonal imbalance by acting on hypothalamus, which balances it. And gently come out. You need to move. I need to do something. For this next posture, we'll be getting into the Pigeon Pose. So take your right leg forward, bringing the knee next to the right wrist. Take the other leg behind and keep pushing it back. Keep your toes flexed. See that you're not falling onto your right hip. Stay in the center. You can keep your palms on the floor. You can bring your palms higher. Stay and breathe. Excellent for your outer thighs, glutes. This pose opens up your hips, which supports mobility and flexibility in that joint. It also stretches your hip flexors and lower back, which are tight due to prolonged sitting. And stretching these muscles may alleviate mild lower back pain or hip pain. And gently release. Lift your knee off the floor. Take your leg back. Change sides. Bring the left knee forward. Stay and breathe. Again, you can choose to keep your palms on the floor. Left ankle is closer to your right hip. Don't sit on your left hip. Stay in the center. You can come up higher. One side may always be different than the other. Please observe both the sides of your body. This pose also supports digestion through gentle stretching and movement of your lower abdomen. It may also assist with peristalsis, the movement of digested food through the intestinal tract. Sadness, stress, and fear are stored in your hips. Regularly practicing this pose may help relieve internal stress or worry. And gently release, coming out. Take your left leg back. Bring your knees down. From there, you can bring your right leg on the outside of your right foot. Take your left leg behind. Stay here. Keep pushing your hips forward. Point your toes behind. Lift your head up. Lift your chest up. Stay and breathe. If you can, take your elbows down on the floor. If you cannot, stay in the previous position. Lizard pose is a versatile pose which opens up the hips, hamstrings, groins, and the hip flexors. It also strengthens the inner thigh muscles on the front leg and opens and releases the chest, shoulders, and neck. And gently release. Coming out, take your right foot behind. Bring your left foot forward and push your hip down low towards the floor. Stay and breathe. You can stay up on your palms or you can go down onto your elbows. Do what is comfortable for you. This pose tones up the gluteus maximus muscles, toning up your buttocks. It also gives a deep stretch to the lower abdomen, including the pelvic area, and thus the pelvic floor muscles that provide foundational support for the reproductive organs. It's an excellent pose for athletes, toning up the entire legs, making the hamstrings and quads strong and tight. This posture is set to bring in a balance in the inner energy starting at the base of the spine. And gently come up and come out of the posture. Come up onto your knees. Now push your hips forward. Keep pushing the hips forward and start to arch your back. As you arch your back, see that you're not collapsing. The chest is not collapsing here. You're lifting the chest up towards the ceiling. You can keep your palms on the waist. If this is comfortable for you, you can keep your toes tucked in. Whatever gives you better balance. Stay and breathe. Keep bringing your elbows closer. Again, works on hip flexors. Tighten your glutes. Push the pubic bone in front. Stay and breathe. Take your arms behind if possible. This helps in stretching out the deep hip flexors, which further promote greater hip flexibility. It also improves your posture because it focuses on stretching out your back. As you take your arms behind, see that the body doesn't go back. Keep pushing the body forward. Keep bending further back. Opposite actions. You can drop your head behind. It provides good blood circulation to all the organs because the whole body engages in this posture. And gently come out. It's a very deep back bend, so we'll do the counter pose for this. Get into child's pose. Keep your knees separate. Bring your head down. Just for a couple of breaths. It gently stretches your spine, thighs, hips and ankles. You can also release tension in your lower back muscles, chest, hamstrings and shoulders. And come up. From there, you can take your knees wider. See that you don't hurt your knees. Take your knees wider. Bring your feet closer. And bring your hips towards the floor. It's a deep stretch for your hips. Stay and breathe. So we're trying to bring the pubic down towards the floor, not by going forward, by staying back, opening our hips more. The frog pose is considered to be a deep hip opener to release emotions. It may alleviate lower back tightness, ease sciatic pain and strengthen your back. It's ideal for people who sit for extended hours, which can cause lower back pain or tight hip flexors. It also helps improve hip flexibility, mobility and range of motion, which is useful for people who have tight hips due to running, swimming or cycling. See that the soles of your feet are together and your heels are touching the floor, your ankles are touching the floor. So don't be here. Bring your ankles and heels down. And very gently come out. From here, we're talking about hips. We have to go into Garland Pose, Malasana. So bring your feet down. See that you're opening your knees more and more. Pressing your knees out with your triceps. Bring the palms to heart center. See that your chest is lifted. You're not collapsing here. Lift your chest up. Open your legs out more. Open your knees out more. Stay and breathe. This pose stretches the thighs, hips and groin as well as opens up the chest. It also strengthens the ankles and can help improve balance. When you engage your core in this pose, it works those muscles as well and can even stimulate digestion. It also increases circulation to the pelvis. It's considered a good pose for balancing the root chakra or Muladhara chakra, as it is very grounding. And gently release. So lie down on your back. Bring your knees in towards your chest. Lift your legs up, the lower part of the legs up towards the ceiling. See that the soles of your feet are turned upwards And you can hold the feet from outside, the outer edge of the feet, and keep pushing your knees down towards the floor without lifting your sacrum off. Keep your sacrum on the floor and then push your knees down towards your armpits, towards the floor. Stay and breathe. Anand Balasana or Happy Baby Pose is a great stretch for your inner thighs, inner groins, hips and hamstrings, and even your shoulders and chests are involved. It offers freedom in your lower back muscles, which is great after doing all the other poses, especially back bends. In Happy Baby Pose, the sacrum broadens. It gently stretches your inner groins and the back spine. It also calms the brain and helps relieve stress and fatigue. And gently release. You can rest in Shavasana. Feet are away, like send your legs away, extending your legs. You can feel that hip opened up by now. You should feel an extension in your pelvic region, and keep your arms on the sides. See that your lower back and your shoulders are relaxed on the floor. When you're ready, bend your knees, roll over onto your right side, come up and sit up. This completes our practice. I hope you enjoyed this practice. You may feel lighter, you may feel like crying also at the end of this practice. It's completely alright. Do let me know in comments below if you like this practice. Thank you for watching. Thank you for practicing with me. Thank you and namaste.